The UFC president just dropped some major news about the lightweight division's future. With Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria, fight news is circulating, fans are buzzing, but will Dana White give Arman the green signal to challenge for the belt next?
With Arman Tsarukyan weighing in as the backup, is he getting back in the good graces with you and the...
Well, it's not about getting back in the good graces. It's about, you know, the guy had the opportunity to fight for a title and didn't make weight. It's just, I mean, you couldn't fuck up anything worse than that. But he proved, you know, now that he's not fighting for the title, he was here as a backup fighter, he made weight, so it's definitely a step in the right direction.
The stakes just got sky high. Arman Tsarukyan has put up $500,000 to challenge Ilia Topuria.
I can put the bets. I can put like a $500,000 if he beat me. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000. So see if he wants to make that, so I'm down, and we can shake hand fight. If I lose, I'll give him $500,000. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000.
That's big words right there. Patty Pimblett ain't throwing numbers around like that, so...
Arman Tsarukyan is turning up the heat on Ilia Topuria with some serious social media shade. The top lightweight contender isn't holding back, calling out Ilia for dodging the fight he absolutely deserves.
Ilia, stop running, Ilia. Stop running, Ilia. Good boy.
Ilia Topuria isn't ducking Arman Tsarukyan's calls for a fight, but he suggested a strategic plan that Arman must follow if he truly wants a shot at the lightweight title. Ilia is aware of the stakes, and that title shots generally aren't just handed out in the UFC. So rather than rushing into a fight, Ilia has indicated that Arman must first prove himself by taking on a few worthy challenges.
So if he wants to assure his title shot, he has to fight with Justin Gaethje, because if he fights with Arman, I think that Arman's gonna beat him. So the easiest path he has right now to get the title shot is Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Stylistically.
Thank you.
Former flyweight champ Demetrius Johnson is throwing down a bold prediction that Ilia Topuria will finish Arman Tsarukyan by knockout in their fight. With Ilia's striking and pressure, DJ sees a way for a stoppage and says it's going to be a fight for the ages.
Like, I don't think he's just going to risk going into where Arman's good just to prove a point.
No, I think he's gonna knock Arman out. I don't think he cares to wrestle with anybody. I think he's gonna get himself to the right spot and try to knock everybody out.
Dan Hooker recently took shots at Arman Tsarukyan, says fighters are scared of him, while speaking about the lightweight division's future, with the UFC likely setting up Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira too for the lightweight title. Hooker believes Arman Tsarukyan is left hanging, and he knows exactly what that means. He's got to fight me to get back in the mix and to get a title shot.
I think they're going to do Holloway Oliveira, Gaethje for the title. That leaves Arman in the lurch. He's got to fight me to get back in the mix and to get a title shot. That's always the fight I want. And not because he's a prick and I hate him, but because I genuinely think that he's the hardest fight, and all those big name guys have like an excuse to not fight him. Yeah, I think he's the best at winning fights, and so a lot of these guys have a justifiable reason to avoid fighting him. And so that's been my approach since I first stepped foot in the UFC, is that I want to fight the best guys. I think Arman's the best guy.
Former UFC champion Daniel Cormier is entirely in Arman Tsarukyan's corner for a title shot. According to DC, Arman has already faced many of the toughest fighters in the division and has shown he is one of the best. Cormier feels that it's time for the UFC to stop awarding hype and recognize skill, and Arman rightfully belongs in the championship conversation.
I don't understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the #1 contender for the last year. He was in line to fight for the belt in Los Angeles, and then it didn't happen. It was because his back went out, right? Some people were saying it was a weight issue. Well, today he stepped on the scale as a backup fighter and looked in phenomenal shape. It just feels like Arman Tsarukyan should be next to fight for the championship.
Chael Sonnen just dropped what he calls the worst kept secret in MMA. Ilia Topuria is fighting Arman Tsarukyan next. While Ilia previously said he had no interest in fighting Arman, Chael insists that was just classic Topuria strategy, much like Anderson Silva used to deny fights before accepting them.
Ilia Topuria is fighting Arman Tsarukyan.
Chael clarifies this is all part of the Topuria strategy. Generate buzz, generate controversy, then sign. Although fighters have clearly called him out as a coward, Ilia isn't ducking anyone. Tsarukyan, likely this December at T-Mobile Arena.
Seeing guys at 155 calling out Ilia Topuria, and they're not calling him and saying, I want to fight him. They're calling out that he said that he doesn't want to fight Arman Tsarukyan. Okay, first off, that fight is done. Just so you understand. But guys do have a recipe. They're creatures of habit. No more than when Ilia steps outside and dips, he's going to throw a hook. 100% of the time to your face, not to your body. Not looking for your liver. Not a shovel hook. He's stepping outside, boom, he's coming with a KO punch. I mean, I'm just sharing, like, they're creatures of habit, so.
Meanwhile, Islam isn't just looking to defend his belt anymore. He's hunting greatness. After dominating his opponent with back-to-back mega wins, he now has his sights set on the undefeated Ilia Topuria. Islam only wants to beat the undisputed one pound-for-pound king.
Islam Makhachev was at Abu Dhabi this week. They asked him about Ilia Topuria, and he said, the UFC put him #1 pound for pound to build the fight. Him and I will fight for the best in the world in the #1 pound for pound ranking.
Ilia's already got the #1 ranking.
We'll give him.
Ilia's got a world championship they can fight over. Islam does not. So I think that Islam's math was a little bit backwards. It's very tough for me to believe if Islam obtains world championship status at 170.
From a stylistic standpoint, it's an all-or-nothing battle. Ilia's striking is technical, lethal, and effective. Arman offers unrelenting pressure, elite-level grappling, and cardio for days. It's a recipe for mayhem and greatness.
Ilia's got his own thing, and Ilia is not out accepting fights, and he's not acknowledging that he looks at the rankings. He's not acknowledging that he's in a position where he has to do what he's told, where he works for the company. He is presenting, much like McGregor, a position of power, though he doesn't have it. He's not being a dick behind the scenes. To call Ilia a coward, I mean, this is such strong language, and I do feel like people have forgot what happened in the last 3 months. Ilia Topuria did not move up to 155 to fight for a vacant title. That is your mind playing a trick on you. He did not move up to 155 to fight Charles Oliveira for a championship. That is your mind misremembering.
Ilia Topuria has stated in interviews that he did not move to 155 for a vacant title or to chase Oliveira. He mentioned that his target has always been Islam Makhachev, not merely to take a vacant belt, but to become a 2-division champion by taking the best.
Ilia Topuria dropped the belt and moved to 155, coming straight after Islam Makhachev. So to suggest that he would not fight a guy who lost to Islam Makhachev, just for example, but this is silly. This is silly, and he's not denying the fight. He has his approach. He has a way that he's found to build fights. He is a very big star. Much like he's not going to start slipping outside and not finding that knockout hook, he's not going to change the formula that he has, whether he's aware of it or not. But for fellow 155 pounders to be sitting back and to be judging and to be pointing a finger at Ilia Topuria, Ilia is playing you. Ilia is going to fight Tsarukyan.
UFC will not allow Ilia Topuria to take a shortcut to chase his dream fight against Islam Makhachev. Despite his intentions to jump straight to 155 and call out the reigning champion, Dana White and UFC matchmakers have different plans.
And outside of an illness or an injury, he's going to fight Tsarukyan next.
Arman Tsarukyan is putting in relentless work in the gym, training harder than ever for his shot at the UFC lightweight title against Ilia Topuria. Every day in camp, Arman sharpens his striking, perfects his wrestling, and builds the endurance needed to climb to the top. The stakes are the highest they've ever been for him, and he's ready to show everyone why he deserves the next title shot and why he is one of the most dangerous contenders in the division. The clock is ticking down to an epic fight. Arman Tsarukyan is working hard with Merab Dvalishvili in preparing for his wrestling and ground game with one of the most difficult grapplers in the UFC. Working with Merab means that every day Arman is pushing his limits. This could truly be a change in how Arman's skills and strategies look moving forward. Arman Tsarukyan is at the gym working like a madman, pushing his body to the limit every day to make sure that he truly earns his king designation in the UFC lightweight division. From ordinary sparring sessions that resemble brutal bouts to non-stop wrestling drills in which he subsequently wears out his opponents, Arman is not just training, he is trying to make a point that he wants that belt from Ilia Topuria, whether he likes it or not. At the same time, Ilia Topuria isn't just avoiding Arman Tsarukyan, he is also ignoring Paddy Pimblett. Despite Paddy's massive fans and growing popularity, Ilia backs off. We see it from Ilia Topuria when it comes to either Arman or Paddy. He's mostly quietly picking his moves and withholding any discussion about the tough fights, while only considering what serves his best interests.
So if he wants to assure his title shot, he has to fight with Justin Gaethje, because if he fights with Arman, I think that Arman's going to beat him. So the easiest path he has right now to get the title shot is Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Stylistically.
Thank you.
Khabib Nurmagomedov didn't hold back. He fired sharp shots at Ilia Topuria, dismissing him as a serious threat to Islam Makhachev's lightweight throne, appearing to indicate Arman Tsarukyan is the real threat, tougher test, and really the only one that deserves a title shot more than Ilia.
Как ты считаешь, кто опаснее сейчас для Ислама Махачева, Арман Царукян или Илья Топурия?
Мое личное мнение, не то чтобы там опасен, скажем так, более конкурентен. Я думаю, что Царукян. Я думаю, Арман посерьезнее боец, чем Топурия. Топурия хороший боец в 66, а в 70 мы его не видели. Я считаю, что Арман более конкурентоспособный для ислама, чем Topuria.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan's desire for the UFC lightweight belt can certainly not be denied. After being pulled out of his UFC 311 main event against Islam Makhachev last second due to a nasty back surgery that kept him out for several months, Arman's desire for that belt still burns like fire. It may have been 6 months worth of waiting, but Arman Tsarukyan will be back stronger, sharper, and hungrier than ever for what he believes is rightfully his. This will not just be a comeback, it would be a statement. As the UFC lightweight title picture heats up, former champion and analyst Daniel Cormier shares his thoughts on who truly deserves the next shot. Cormier said that Arman Tsarukyan's rise and the challenges surrounding Ilia Topuria's fight decisions. He added, "I love Arman. I think he's the #1 contender who deserves the next shot at the belt. He's earned it more than Paddy or even Justin at this point. The only fight I truly believe Ilia would never hesitate to take is against Islam. That's the biggest fight on the table for him. And honestly, that fight is way bigger than anything else Ilia could do with Paddy or the others." The anticipation is reaching a fever pitch as Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan edges closer to becoming official. This fight has the perfect ingredients to potentially be one of the most explosive and must-see fights of the year in the lightweight division. As a fighter, Topuria has elite striking skills, relentless pressure, and pure knockout power that make him capable of making making the fight intensely violent, and with one punch, he can change the course of a fight. As a counter, Tsarukyan is well-rounded with elite grappling skills, and is generally difficult for everyone in the lightweight division, but is a smart fighter with exceptional fight IQ. This fight is more than just a fight between Topuria and Tsarukyan. It is a message from both fighters that they are ready to finish their journey to the very top of the sport and be champions in the lightweight division. So, what do you think? Who's your pick to win this epic clash? Drop your predictions and thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation with fight fans everywhere. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any updates, fight previews, or post-fight breakdowns. This is the kind of matchup fight fans dream about, and it's coming soon to a UFC event near you.